I welcome you all to the 14th online lecture under the monthly lecture series on different aspects of Jainology by International School for Jain Studies. So first of all, for the auspicious beginning of this session, I would like to request Mr. Harshit Misra to recite Navkar Mantra. Harshit.
Thank you, sir. Please, all of join the hands. Namo Arihantane. Namo Siddhanam. Namo Aidiyanam. Namo Uvajjayanam. Namo Loe Sabasahunam. Eso Pavapanaasano Mangaladam cha sabbesim Padhamam ho imangalam Padhamam ho imangalam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Harshit. Mr. Harshit is one of the participants of Bhagwan Mahavir Prakrit Fellowship Program. Again, I welcome you all to this virtual platform of International School for Jain Studies. I welcome each and every attendees of this program who are here with us from the different part of the globe. Before I invite Dr. Shuganji to deliver his talk, I would like to present a brief introduction of our today's speaker and chairperson of this session. Our chairperson, Professor Narendra Bhandari, is a space scientist, professor, author, and editor. He was among the first group of scientists to study the moon sample brought by Apollo mission of NASA and Luna mission of USSR, a recipient of Vikram Sarabhai Award and many others. He has published and edited several books on space sciences as well as on Jainism. Presently, Professor Bhandari is president of Jain Academy of Scholars and a distinguished professor of Jain philosophy at Jain University, Bangalore. So we are fortunate to have such a scholar with us as chairperson of this session. Professor Bhandari, Professor, behalf of myself, behalf of ISGS, I welcome you to this session.
Thank you very much.
Our today's speaker, our own Dr. Shugan Jain, has worked as management and IT consultant for more than 35 years. And since 2002, he has pursued full-time Jain studies, earned MA and PhD from Jain Vishwabharati Institute, Ladnu. And in 2005, with Dr. Sulekh Jain from USA, he founded ISGS in India to introduce academic studies of Jainism in universities globally. And since its inception in 2005 till July 2020, he was the chairman, and presently he is the president of ISGS. So I welcome our own Dr. Shugan Jain ji to this session. I welcome our colleagues and the attendees, each and every attendee of this session. And without any other delay, I request Dr. Jain to present his talk. Over to you, sir.
Jain, today I have selected a topic whereby I will try to explore the application of Anekāntavāda, the doctrine of Anekānt in Jainism, in our life and see if it can help us to enhance the wellness in our life. So I start with first defining certain terms that we will use in this presentation today. चलो let us start with Anekāntavāda first. Anekāntavāda consists of two terms. Anek means many or poly, and ant means end or views. That is polyandism or doctrine of multiplicity of viewpoints. And it is based on the fact that in Jainism we consider reality itself as anekantic. This is the foundation of Anekāntavāda, that the reality, or such we call it, is anekantic. And the process of knowing an entity, Nyavad and Praman. Nyaya is based on the objective of the knower and the limitation of his knowledge. So this means that we try to know an object according to our objective and the capabilities, and it is partial, therefore it is partial, or a instant state of an knowledge of an instant state of an object, while Praman means that complete knowledge or that valid knowledge. And based on this, we use at least two aspects in our discussions on the state of an object, namely from practical viewpoint of Vyavharana and the absolute viewpoint or the Nishchana. Or we call them by other names like substance viewpoint and the modal viewpoint. Praman is valid knowledge, and there's no viewpoint, it is a complete knowledge or true knowledge. When we acquire the knowledge, then we express it using Syadvad or conditional dialectic. This shows that whatever when we have the knowledge, we show that we are talking while we are describing an attribute or a part of that object. We accept that is not complete, and there are other aspects also. Or you can say we don't negate the existence of other aspects of the substance. And this, comes from the Nyaya itself, where we express that, it is based on our objective. So with these, I come to the next point, the wellness. Wellness here, we use it as a synonym for being healthy. And healthy, the World Health Organization describes that being physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy. It's not just physical, it is physical, mental, and spiritual. Other synonyms of wellness are to be happy, contented, self-reliance, prosperity, or enjoy our own inherent nature. Atam Ninta. Now here the most important thing is self-reliance, because when the soul is pure soul, it is self-reliant. It is enjoying its own nature. So we have to see how this fact affects our wellness in life. as human beings. So now we start the exposition. Because we say reality itself is Anekāntavāda, I will spend some time to show you how reality in Jainism is Anekāntavāda. So Jain definition of Anekāntavāda is all existence are real. This means Jain says that there is nothing which is imaginary or unreal. Everything that exists in this world are real or sat or. And this is the basis that reality itself is Anekāntavāda, because there are so many real, so many things existence, and everyone is acting or behaving in a different way. So we come now to the definition of the reality itself in Jainism, and for this I've taken these definitions from Tattva Sutta. The reality in Jainism is indicated by Sat or Dravya. And here Dravya is important because Dravya means flow, evolving. So something which is evolving continuously is a substance or the Sat or the reality. Next, please. The first characteristic of reality is Utpad Vyaya Dravya Yuktam Sat. That is origination, destruction, and permanence. They coexist, or permanent and impermanent coexist. And there are two primary classes of infinite number of active existence of opposing characteristics. I'll give you an example here. Opposing characteristics are the living beings, Jeev, and the non-living beings in which the active is matter or physical, and they are of opposing characteristics. Now here I try to express the meaning of Utpad Vyaya Dravya. I have taken a very small fraction of time in the beginningless existence of my soul or us living beings. And here you see the vertical line dropping and immediately the vertical line. Vertical line means origination and the decline is destruction. So you see this is a continuous process going on, evolving. I have shown it in a magnified way, but you can consider the whole that I'm showing you is a very small fraction of a second. And origination and destruction are taking place simultaneously, and yet the solid line shows that it is permanent. There's something which always exists, but it is continuously evolving. So this is the important aspect that we see, that it's a continuous process of evolution. And to make it complicated, the next definition is Gun Paryaya Vad Dravya. This means that each existent or dravya or entity has multiple attributes, and each attribute is changing and affecting each other continuously. Now this we can see now that it's becoming a complex process, very, very complex process. And not only a number of existence, but the fact that they have many attributes and they are changing and evolving continuously. Here I just try to show you the gunas or the attributes. They are generally divided into two categories. Number one, generic, which means that there are certain attributes which are common to all the substances. For example, substantiality. That is, it continues to be a substance. It does not change into some other substance. Then, it is capable of being known, prameyatva. Like this, there are 6 attributes which are generic, and the others are specific. Now, specific attributes are of 2 types. Number one is one which identifies a category of the existence or substance. For example, jiva or living beings, the distinguishing characteristic of them, attribute of them is consciousness and its manifestation. So anything which has consciousness and it manifests as knowledge and vision is a living being. On the other hand, matter or pudgal is which has fusion and fission as its characteristic. That is, it is continuously, combining and dissociating, combining and dissociating. So these are the distinguishing characteristics. And then each one has many other qualities which are continuously changing. For example, in a living being, the pure soul, let us say we generally talk of four infinites: infinite vision, infinite knowledge, infinite energy, and bliss. Now, these four characteristics that we generally talk are of the pure soul. And when the pure soul is combined with matter, then these keep on changing because of the impact and the action that we will talk. Similarly, in matter, we have the characteristics of taste, touch, smell, and form or color. And it is these qualities which make the subject or the entity, able to be perceived and known by us, because these are the qualities of these are the objects of the qualities of our sense organs. So you see that they are all working together, different, opposing, and affecting each other. Now just imagine that like living being has hundreds of attributes, and they're all changing continuously. Then we bring it these no matter, and they are affecting it. Like we see in Sat Tattva, and seven tattvas, how the soul and the matter interact together through the stages like influx, stoppage, bondage, and dissociation, etc. So these processes are going on continuously, and we can say to some extent randomly because of the nature of the matter. While the nature of the soul is to always move up. That is, it wants to be in a state of pure soul state, which is eternal bliss. Nothing changes, keeps on enjoying its own nature. So we come to the conclusion that reality appears to be a stochastic process with several independent variables, substances and lagunas, producing an outcome or event, paryaya, for individual substance and its guna. Here I have added the term stochastic. And this I purposely said, use this term because it helps us to apply the science of statistics to understand or to explain what is happening in our life and now and likely to happen in future. So let us see what is the meaning that we derive from stochastic process. A stochastic process, also known as a random process, is a collection of random variables that are indexed by some mathematical set. Each probability and random process are uniquely associated with an element in the set with time interpretations, that is, the observed value at each time is a random variable. Because of its randomness, a stochastic process can have many outcomes. And a single outcome of a stochastic process is known as, among other things, a sample function or realization. I transpose it into the definition of reality to show, show that the reality itself is following a stochastic process. What is reality? Reality, according to me, is a mathematical set that is collection of many substance types indexed by their individual actions and interactions with others. Origination, destruction, and permanence. And each existence has many qualities which are of even opposing nature and continuously changing. So you see, each state or each mode of pi is a variable of what many other variables which we call attributes. And some of them are opposing each other. Like I talked to you about the living being Jiva on matter. Even in Jiva, we know that they are opposing parties. I am happy, I am unhappy also. I have knowledge, I am ignorant also simultaneously. So these are opposite things, and this gives this forms the basis for randomness. It's not like the game of game of tossing a coin or a dice game that we play, snakes and ladder, because there we know the outcome. When I toss a coin, I know it is either going to be head or tail. Similarly, when I play the game of dice, then I know outcome is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. But in a random process, I don't know what can happen because there are so many variables involved which are affecting each other. So this is the basis that I say that Anekāntavāda is based on the concept that reality is a complex of stochastic processes, and it helps in estimating the outcome of any future time. Here I would try to bring this concept, the statistical science of statistics, in which we conduct experiments, we try to form relationships in different, mathematical concepts, and try to estimate the likelihood of an event that is likely to occur, and we assign certain, limits of confidence, that how confident we are. And by doing this, if we apply this in our life, I can try to predict what I'm doing today, how its effect will be a day after a day or a week or a month or a year, etc. Next. Now, this discussion, when I apply Anekāntavāda in life, we have to see what are the yardsticks or what are the measures or what are the milestones that this doctrine gives us, which I can use for life in my to enhance the wellness of my life. So I've identified 4 primary ones. Number 1 is that opposites coexist. I have discussed it before. This means permanence and impermanence, universal and particular, like general and specific, combination of jivas and matters of different types of matter. Because we see something, which is just matter, like gold, silver, things like this. But mostly we will see jiva and matter together. The second is multifaceted. Multifaceted means each has multiple attributes. And these attributes or gunas, they are changing continuously. So this means they are infinitum modes or states of an existence. I'm changing continuously. You can see those who know me for the last 20 years may be seeing the change taking place in me. But if you see from my childhood till now, I'm changing continuously. And I cannot predict what I will be because there are so many things which are affecting me. So it is multifaceted. The third is relativity. attributes as well as other entities affect each other, the outcome. This is a very important consideration in our discussions. And if you remember, I also talked to you about the Naya doctrine, where the relativity is there. My knowledge is relative to my objective. And here also we are affecting, each attribute affects others, directly or indirectly. Like in the case of Jiva, it has a tendency to move up. That means it is trying to enhance its state of knowledge, vision, and wellness continuously to attain the ultimate, that's the state of pure soul. While in the case of matter, it is random, fusion and fission, dissociating, associating, dissociating, associating. So this is affecting each other and they are relative. Relative means that what is the state of association of matter with the soul in the form of, in other form that I will come to you later on. And the last is reconciliation. We know attributes are opposing. We know that there are relative, and yet we try to reconcile the existence of opposites and make choices to achieve our objective. For example, Jiva is trying to enhance wellness and ultimately achieve our objective of liberation or the state of its own nature. I can give you some examples in this, but I will bring them when I talk to you about the life. So these are the main pillars of Anekāntavāda, which I will take one at a time and see how they affect in our, how we can use them to apply Anekāntavāda to know ourselves, our actions, and improve our wellness. Next one, please. With all these, Anekāntavāda says outcome is difficult to predict. Likelihood can be estimated. And here, as we can see in the doctrine of Sadhva, we always say syat, a little bit. Or if we look at Sabdhangi, we say is not, and maybe things like this. So there continuously the outcome is difficult. We cannot be say exactly that this is what will happen. Okay. Next, please. Now I apply these four to life, understanding life, and the topic is opposites coexist. I will try to show you complexity of Jiva and its activities. Okay. So with this first I look at the structure of the Jiva. You look at this picture, I have tried to show different components which form me, the Jiva. The white component is my pure soul, which is similar in every living being. And the other three are matter bodies. The scarlet is the egoic body, the blue is the karmic body, and the green outside is the physical body. Now these are the associations with the soul, and they affect the activity of the soul, particularly the scarlet one, which I call like, the emotions and, the state of delusion, etc. So you see here that pure soul has a tendency to move up and be in a state of permanence. It tries to free itself from the other three. The second component of this, as I discussed, is matter, whose nature is fusion and fission, and it consists of egoic and karmic bodies, that is the scarlet and the blue, and the physical body. And its random is movement is random, perceptible, And the beauty is it attracts and is attracted by others. That is, this body, I am, as because of my matter associations, it is affected by the outside world, perceptible world, and it also affects them. And this is where relativity also comes. The next is jiva. I am a compound one. Here it's a combination of these two and going through 8.4 million yoni or existences according to Jain philosophy and even Hindu philosophy. And pure soul is trying to attain moksha, that is, go out of this samsara or the cycle of 8.4 million. And this is the stochastic process. Next. Now you see, I've shown here you two pictures. On the front, on the top, pure soul, I've shown you the original destruction and permanence with very, very small amplitude. This means when the soul is pure, transformation is going in this. But what is the transformation? What is originating and what is destructing, destroying? And it is the qualities of vision, knowledge, and bliss. It is same, so it continues to enjoy. It continues to enjoy its own nature. So dynamism is shown there, and so it's always at peace. While in a combined form, you see the amplitude growing, and it is because of the combination of matter which is affecting it. So sometimes I'm angry, I'm very angry, like you see the four states, Anantanubandhi, Pratyahana, Pratyahana, and Sanjulan. And on the other hand, you see of the emotions, the other aspects, like anger, the opposite is forgiveness. Arrogance, the opposite is humility. So they are all affecting it. And this is what causes, let us say, action or activities in the jiva. Next, please. And the first I showed you the structure, and then this whole thing lives in a bigger environment surrounding a jiva, which consists of living beings and non-living beings, primary matter, and complex. I say primary matter because other four are supporting. So I'm not talking of them, I'm talking of active matters only. So the whole process you see, structure is very complex. Now I come to the functioning of the living beings, multifaceted attributes and modes. I start by saying that life experiences and outcomes are mixtures of pain and pleasure, duty, bondage of pure soul and matter. See, I refer to you to Sutkritam, which is the second, agam of Jains, and the first sentence, the first sutra of that, pronounced by Mahavir is Bujje ja Tyukte ja. That is, acquire the knowledge and break the bondage. So, here he says, bondage is pain, and by knowing ourselves and the method, you break the bondage. So pain and pleasure, I'm just trying to define. I've said pleasure because these are all physical things, but similarly is that bondage is pain and freedom is happiness. So this is the life experience, and we try to maximize pleasure and minimize pain. Next, please. What are the activities performed by jiva for this? And first I talk of Jain philosophy and the activities performed by me. Number one, activities that cause pain. And these are the 5 different types of activities that I'm involved, which cause pain. When I perform these, I don't know. I may be under the influence of matter, but when I perform these, I know that I'm moving in the direction of enhancing my pain. Wrong belief, inadvertence, laziness, tainted emotions, and unnecessary activities of mind, body, and speech. Mithya, avirati, pramad, kashaya, and yoga. These are the 5 things. So when we perform these, then we are enhancing pain, or we are reducing our wellness. Now, next is, what are the activities that we perform to manage pain? And here I use the word free will. Knowing that I am suffering, the soul performs some things. Can perform some activities, and this I've taken again from Tattva Sutra. This is the first sutra of chapter 2. The activities that the soul performs can perform is subsidence. Subsidence come annihilation, alienation, rise, and inherent. Subsidence means that once I experience the impact of karmas to be painful, I try to subside so that I can continue to perform my activities. Or I subside some and destroy some, or I annihilate them, or I go with the flow. The karmas are fructifying, and I go with the flow, do as it like. I'm blessed with a lot of wealth, so I keep on enjoying. And the last is inherent, that is, I stay in my own nature, so that whatever the karma's effects are, they get weak, and I continue to enhance my wellness and ultimately achieve the state of pure soul. And what are the methods to minimize or eliminate pain? And this we call moksha marga, samyak darshan gyan charitrani moksha marga. Now this itself is a very important consideration. It's not like that the 3 things, samyak darshan, samyak gyan, or rational knowledge, rational belief, rational knowledge, and rational conduct. If you do these things separately, you will achieve wellness. No, it is a combined. They all go 3 together. So it is not step by step that first I develop the belief, then I develop the knowledge, and then I start performing activity. No, they are going simultaneously. As you perform, all 3 get affected, and you move up. My belief becomes stronger, my knowledge level increases, and my practice conduct also improves. So the process, moksha marg itself, is a continued activity and not step by step. Okay, the next one. The next is that these are the activities performed by me. Then there are other living beings and matter which are affecting my
Excuse me, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
actually, your PowerPoint presentation is not visible. Slides are not visible.
PPT visible.
नहीं दिखे?
Shivam.
Mm-hmm.
You can see now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, there are others. Yes. So there are other living beings and matter which are affecting me, my actions. Paraspar graho jivanam. And this is beautifully explained in Sat Tattva, 7 verities. Jeev, Ajeev, Asrav, Bandh, Samvar, Asrav, Samvar, Bandh, Nirjara, and more. How matter is attracting the matter gets attracted, and when they are together, how the soul tries to dissociate itself. So these are the things that we see here, the activities which we perform to, enhance our wellness. Now I go to the other thing also to have a better hold on this thing, and I take the psychology, what the psychology says. Here I have tried to show the Maslow's hierarchy. And Maslow, instead of talking in abstract terms, he talks of needs. He says, what is pain? Pain is unmet need. I need something and I'm not getting it, so I feel pain. And then he developed a hierarchy of these: physiological, safety, love, esteem, self-actualization. And in the end, he added, around his time of death, he added this self-transcendence, or like he says, the state of jina. So these are the things which is the importance that we try to have this. I want to be healthy first, roti kapla makan, so that I can survive, type of thing. Then, need to be loved, respected. And then I want to have the full potential. I want to be the chairman of the company or the president of a country, according to my destiny. So these are the hierarchy. And if they are not met, then I feel pain. And this is a very, the moment, reason I'm showing this to you, I will show you how I use this to enhance my wellness. Because all the abstract terms I'm trying to associate with the real life experiences and expectations. And the last is the medical science. Medical science has done a tremendous job of, analyzing our body, the impact of various emotions and chemicals of the food we take, the environment, and how we can improve ourselves, our state of health, or how we can be healthy. But that is a part, because in science, spirituality is now creeping in, they are trying to associate. So all these three things I have tried to put here to show that the life experiences are affected by these, and what we do, what we can do. Next is interactions within and others. That is reconciliation. What are the factors that affect occurrences of pain and pleasures? And here I'm taking I've talked to you activities. Now these are the factors. What are these factors? And I've taken these from the text Sanmati Tark by Satyen Divakar. That we can predict an outcome based on these four factors: Swabhav, Niyati, Karm, Kal, and Purusharth of free will. Each factor is changing except Niyati. Now, Swabhav is, in English translation, we say nature. Somebody can say nature is the environment. Somebody can say, translate it as my nature. What is my nature? My nature is to be happy or to be in a state of bliss. Niyati is, we take it as universal laws. It's not that something will happen always. No. Niyati means there are certain rules which cannot change. For example, one who is born will die. Nobody can change this. Niyati. And to some extent we can say in the karma doctrine of Jainism, when we talk of 10 states of karma, there is nikachit karma, 1 out of 10 states, which we cannot change. They will have to yield their results completely, and we have to experience them. Then the second is karma. Karma here means past actions. What have we done? And this I showed you in that picture by the blue thing. They are associated with my soul. And then the next is Kal. Kal means time. This is very well known that time has a major effect on our thinking, outcome, our thinking and activity. And the most important is what I can do is purusharth, or I say free will. I have the will, I have the freedom to do purusharth. Next is individual action is purusharth. This is what I can do to enhance my wellness. And next, okay. Now this I have tried to show in this picture is the concept of one stance in Jain philosophy. You see, I have shown you the 14 into 6 different shades, starting from dark period or pervert views to fall and awakening, then laity, ascetics, illumination, state of jnana, and ultimately moksha. So one can say that it's just linear process from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4 state, 5th state, 6th state, 7th, and on up to 14th. But what do we see here? We see it's not linear. I can, for example, I can jump from 1 to 6th or to 5, or I can jump to 1 from 1 to 7 directly. And there are examples, for example, Bharat Chakravarti, he jumped from 1 to 7 and quick immediately from 7 to 13. And then we have the another, this here is the decision matrix at 7th Gumstam. Depending on the type of activity I do, subsidence or annihilation, if I continue to subside my, pains or, these things, then I can keep on making a progress and go up to 11 and then fall down. I will not reach the ultimate objective. So this is what is trying to show. I am trying to show you, like the game of snakes and ladder. This forms the basis of the game of snakes and ladder. That how we are not sure the path of improving spiritual purification or enhancing our wellness is not straight or linear. It is, dependent on so many factors, so many things, and difficult to predict. Chaliye. So we have seen this now applying Anekāntavāda. Opposite coexist, permanence and impermanence, jiva and matter, complex factor, external factors, multifaceted attributes and modes. For example, jiva, we generally talk of 4 infinite vision, perception, and knowledge, energy and bliss, past karmas, free will, and matter is fusion and fission. Relativity is emotions, beliefs, past karmas, and actions accordingly. And reconciliation means we try to reconcile the existence of opposites and make experience happier or enhance wellness using moksha marg. I just give you a small example in life. In a family, there are 3 brothers born to the same parents. Now, when they are born to the same parents, one would expect them to be all behaving similarly. Or take a case of twins. But what do we find? That each, even though they are born in the same family and they are brought up in the same family, when they grow up, they choose different paths. They define their level of wellness or happiness differently, and they perform and achieve them separately. For a 4th person, one may say that eldest brother is less well off, the second brother is well off, and the third brother is very well off. So this is a perception of others. But from their own viewpoint, each one feels happy, and what they are trying to do is continuously evolving themselves to maintain and enhance their state of wellness. And the outcome in these cases, prediction is difficult. But the likelihood we can using Anekāntavāda and Sadvāda. Now, why it is important? If I know a little bit now, if I know of the factors or actions that I should perform to enhance my wellness, I will start using them, adopting them, and will feel better, will enhance my wellness. If I don't know, I'm ignorant, then I'm just living according to, like a blind faith. Whatever has to happen will happen. I have no control. Now I apply it to the life. I just try to show you the impact of this thing. You see here, this circle, I call it rhythm of life. And here, what you see in the middle is I, the four things that I showed you. And the outer circle are what Maslow showed as our needs. For example, the needs are resources, health, family, friends, personal growth, fun and recreation, occupation, and physical environment. So we keep on pursuing these. For example, as a child, I'm weak physically. So I spend a lot of time just improving my health, body, and may ignore other activities of relationship or, getting educated, etc. So these are the various pulls and pushes which keep on taking my attention. So to improve this, to enhance my wellness, what should I do? And this is the first outcome that we see. Optimize. That means instead of maximizing one factor, let us say health, or I devote all my life for the wellness of my family, I should try to use all these factors and optimize the best solution so that I continue to be happy. For example, in life we have seen that a man who works very hard, runs a race, and he wins, and when he reaches the, what you call the last line, he falls and dies. So here we have to use this word optimize. We know that these are our needs, worldly needs. And also we know who am I. So we try to mix all of these and optimize them. Not based on just one or two, but everything, because we know they will change. Next is enhance my belief and knowledge continuously. Rational belief, rational knowledge, and rational conduct together is the path of attaining liberation. Now here I'm saying it is continuous. So I should enhance this. Like as a youngster, I know that Mahavir is Tirthankara, whatever he says is this, my parents tell me, and I keep on performing this, then I get educated, learn more. And as I grow, I try to know more about myself and change my lifestyle completely. And ultimately, like Mahavir's tapasya. So it is a thing, action that I have to take. I have to enhance my belief about myself and the knowledge. Knowledge about my belief comes from knowledge also, is enhanced by knowledge, not only about myself, but how to achieve both the know-how and the do-how. I should, and then act accordingly. The next is make causes of bondage from inauspicious to auspicious. If you, those of you who have read Jain philosophy, and we talk of three types of upyogs: Shubh, Ashubh, and Shuddh. That is auspicious, inauspicious, and pure. Pure manifestation, I would say, expects us to become ascetics. We can do part, for small time, but generally one would expect that you become a monk live the worldly life and spend all your time in meditating, studying, etc. But in our life, what we try to do is that we try to make the, convert our inauspicious manifestation into auspicious. That is, minimize pain and maximize happiness or pleasure. For example, we say anger. We know to be angry is, harmful for health, for relationship, and for everything. So what I do, I try to remove anger by practicing the principle of forgiveness. So these, we can look into the Jain philosophy. We can draw opposites of each other, good and bad. For example, bad is anger, you see forgiveness. Arrogance, humility. Deceitfulness, maya, straightforwardness. Greed, detachment. Or in our life, charity, sharing, trusting. So, and the third thing which comes is that we follow a regime of physical health, abstinences, etc., as we see in this. And why are these? Because the 5 causes of bondage that I talked to you before, wrong belief and disinterest, laziness, all these cause pain. So if we observe certain rules, certain laws, and perform those activities accordingly, we will enhance our wellness, or we will be happier for a longer time. So I think this is the end of my talk, and acknowledgement I have, 4 work that I used, prime 5, P.C. Manav, S. Mukherjee, Acharya Umaswati, Sid Sen Sanmati, Samant Bhadras Apimamsa, and Mahapragya's 3 books, very nice books he has written about application of Anekāntavāda. So now I am open for questions and answers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for this beautiful lecture on Anekāntavāda. Now the session is open for discussion. If you have any query or question, I request you to please raise your hand, and our admin will allow to unmute yourself. So if you have any question or queries in your mind, please feel free to ask. So I think there is no question. So I request Professor Bhandari for his presidential remark.
An excellent talk, I would say. Dr. Shugan Jain started with simple definitions and developed the whole concept to wellness. I think that is the most important thing in life, how to remain well. And I think the highlight of the whole talk was that he's not ignoring the worldly happiness. He says that is also essential part. And I think several points he brought out, that pain is one's own doing. I think one can, by having correct worldview and certain practices, he said you can reduce the pain and increase the happiness. So he covered a lot of ground, actually, many aspects of Jain philosophy, right from defining what is dravya and what is nature. But the whole crux is that to stay in your own swabhav, that brings most happiness. I think many people here know about what is Anekāntavāda, but few apply it in their real life. And that is the main point of his talk, that he connects it to application to predict the outcome. I will have to practice that, how to predict the outcome by practicing Anekāntavāda. That is really something difficult. But I think that these few points are very important things of his talk, and how to, things which are inauspicious, to convert them into auspicious things. So he gives a lot of prescriptions using Anekantic view to improve one's happiness, wellness, and reducing pain and increasing one's, happiness. So, so these are a few main points which I don't normally come across lectures on Anekāntavāda, that starting from this Anekantic view, how can you increase your, wellness. So I really express my appreciation to Dr. Shugan Jain for this wonderful talk covering all aspects or many aspects of Jain philosophy, and combining them with our worldly existence to increase the happiness. So thank you very much for this very good talk. And as you all know, he is editing a book on applications of Anekāntavāda. Anekāntavāda has been covered by many people. He gave some references of Mahalanobis and Mukherjee and so on. But application part remains little bit obscure. And in spite of this great philosophy, unhappiness in the world, at least many people feel, I don't know, is increasing. So this is the time when we need Anekāntavāda more. There is a intolerance everywhere, there is unhappiness everywhere, and you see every day there is something or the other, some protest going on in the country, in the city, in the town, in the world, and so on. So I think this is one thing which can solve most of the problem. And I really appreciate the various points. I think in this book, this is what he said is going to be one of the papers which he is editing, and there'll be other papers on applications of Anekāntavāda. So our job is really to take this on the global platform and tell the world how to improve the happiness, because that is one thing which everybody is interested in. So I really express my appreciation for this talk, and I hope you will develop this concept more forcefully in your paper. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind remarks. Now, I would like to invite our co-founder, Dr. Suresh Jain, for vote of thanks.
Shugan bhai, many thanks for this such a beautiful talk. I thoroughly enjoyed, and especially you being an engineer, you used the flow chart, okay, going through the sequence. So it was excellent. When I was growing up, I only knew ahimsa. Slowly, especially in the West, I started hearing the word Anekant. And all of a sudden, then say 3 A's of Jainism. Anekant became one of the 3 A's. Ahimsa, Aprigraha, Anekant. That was not the concept when I grew up, okay? Then people like Professor Matilal, I heard his name. Jeffrey Long over here, I'm talking on the West. He did his PhD from University of Chicago more than 25 years ago. And I said, what a bland subject he chose. But no, Then now we have many, many other people in the West who are following, who are writing, who are researching. Professor Melanie Barbato, you know, she wrote a book. Anil Bundra, I think he is in this talk today. And he is now chaired professor at the University of California at Santa Barbara in Jainism. That is his expertise. There are Professor Raja Rosa Hagan. I'm just saying how much is became popular. Then, of course, Dr. Bhandari has been giving Dr. talks. So this subject is becoming more and more popular. And previously, people used to say Anekāntavāda in the Western scholar is just a tolerance. It's a Sanshayavad. I heard this name many, many times, or intellectual ahimsa. But no, it's much more than that. Your talk gave very good example how Anekāntavāda is so useful. So what I want to say is, I want to thank you. I want to thank all the listeners who very attentively and very patiently listen to your talk. There are from outside, I saw Professor George James. I want to thank him. Ifan Sangaraja is always in your talk whenever we have. And then many other people, Anil Mundra is also there. So we have scholars from all over the world and many more people. There are some people I want to thank specially, and those are unseen person is Sushil Jana. He makes things happen. He has the power, okay, to who to admit, who not to admit. So Sushil, even though nobody sees you, thank you. Pragya, you always conduct, you always bring charm, so I appreciate. And Dr. Shrinetra Pandey, you always, you're bringing these kind of monthly lecture series, which are very well attended and on very different subjects every time. Last time we had the talk from Professor Woolen. That was so great, so nice. So you are bringing different facets of Jainism. Then a beautiful rendering of Namo Karmantra by Harshit Mishra. Thank you. Bhandari ji, your summation and you are bringing out the facets of Anekāntavāda, very good. So overall, it was just a beautiful seminar, and keep up this good work. And I'm looking, you are saying you are writing your paper, Shugan Bhai. I think 33, 35 people today, they have evaluated your paper. It's excellent, par excellence. Okay, it must go into that book. So thank you, Jai Jirendra, to all of you participating in this. Let's have more of this.
Slekbhai, I must admit, when I talk, then a lot of times important points, you overlook. Like in the wheel of life I showed you, the outer need and the inner. So how to make them auspicious. I had a middle circle in which you might have observed ahimsa, anekanta, parigraha, shram, and self-restraint. So these are the things that you, like a wheel, you have the spokes. If the spokes are strong, the wheel keeps on moving nicely. So these are the 5 values of Jainism, which if you apply, then the wellness will keep on enhancing. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Thank you. Super talk.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Thank you for your time with us. Thank you.
Okay,
so much. We will wait next month. Yes, one important announce. Just around Mahavir Jayanti, we are planning to conduct a 2-day session, and in this 2-day session, our participants from Bhagwan Navinath Fellowship Program, the participants who attended our Navinath Fellowship Program for 8 weeks, they will present their research around Mahavir Jayanti. We will announce the date soon. Thank you so much.
Pandeyji, do you have any idea what date you are talking?
I think after Mahavir Jayanti, we will announce very soon, sir. Yes, because the papers are papers are under peer review. So once it gets finalized, we will announce the date after discussion with you and Shugan.
Thank you. Because the reason I asked this, we have a 3-day international symposium at California State University in Long Beach on 21st, 22nd, and 23rd of April, around that time. So
yes, even in India, there are many programs on the occasion of Mahavir Jayanti. So we will see all this program and then we will announce.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you.
We will check about the dates with at
Yes,
least with
yes.
the ALC
Yes.
members.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.